Globalization and the Indian economy. Today we are going to discuss about what is globalization and what was the impact of globalization on the Indian economy. Just to understand this one, let's go for a brief introduction. The globalization, let us keep the word aside. Earlier in the Indian roads, we all know that before 1990s, even the Prime Minister, the President or the Chief Minister, governors all used to use the car, the official car was ambassador. The ambassador was considered as the most privilegious and the luxurious car which is being followed for providing comforts for the topmost leaders of India. Even the private privileged classes people also use the ambassador cars, or some people used to use the Fiat cars. But today, if you observe the Indian roads, you find various varieties of brands of cars starting from Rolls-Royce, Land Rover, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, Hyundai. All these cars were manufactured away from India, but still they are used on the Indian roads. From this point, we can understand that prior to 1990s, we have only the Indian products coming into the Indian markets. But once in 1991, the Indian rationalization or liberalization policy has come into the Indian economic reforms. Under the able leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao, the then Prime Minister, and the then Finance Minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh, took up the great initiative to introduce changes of liberalization policy in the Indian economy. So, after 1991, India has seen a rapid changes, transformation of the day-to-day lifestyle of the people, availability of large international products in the Indian markets, and also large varieties of products, large companies have stepped into Indian land. So these all have brought rapid changes in the lives of the people and also in the market of India. It's not that only the abroad markets have come into our country, only the far good companies have come into our country. Even Indian products have reached to various corners of the world. Today, Indian products are also valid all over the world. Indian market has reached to various corners of the world. Today, India is able to do exports and imports with the far east of Japan, the same in the far west of Brazil. So, there is no boundaries for India's imports as well as for India's exports. So, the globalization concept is nothing but liberalization and making the products more and more available and making your market to a wide range where you can reach to large number of people. At the same time, you will be in competition with large number of people. You can sell your product to millions of people across the world. In the same way, you get competition from hundreds of the companies which are located at various corners of the world. So, globalization improves the standard of living. Globalization adds market space for you. Globalization also adds competition for your product. So, did globalization benefit the Indians? Did globalization bring any advantages to the Indian people? How did it affected the Indians' lifestyle? How did it affect the standard of living of the Indian people? In this chapter, we are going to discuss about all these questions and try to find out the possible answers for this. Now, let us see how an MNC works. What are the criteria to have an MNC? Let us discuss now. Earlier, before the 19th century arrival, before we were under the rule of the Britishers. So when we were ruled under the Britishers, under the colonial India, British colonial Raj or British Raj, during that period also we used to have trade relations with the other countries. the products are exported from India to the other corners. What are the products that are exported during that period are basically the raw materials, the raw cotton, the raw coal, the raw shipment, the equipment of wood, iron, everything was exported from India to the other countries, especially to Britain. The raw products are exported. The food stuff, which is only to a limited distance, has been exported. And the finished products, whatever the finished products are there, that are to be exported in the earlier days. But today, the products are exported from one corner to another corner of the world by the MNCs. First of all, what is an MNC? MNC stands for Multinational Company. What is a multinational company? MNC stands for multinational company. What is a multinational company? A multinational company is a company which owns its assets, its properties, and run its businesses in more than one country is called as multinational country. By the name itself, we can understand that it holds or it runs business in more than one country. That's why it is a multinational country. Multi-nations, it has spread over in various countries. That's why it is called multinational company. The company which has its transactions done in various countries is called MNC. This MNC, why do they spread their activities at various corners? The MNC spread their activities at various corners. The prime motto of them is to reduce the cost of production. They want to earn huge profits. In order to earn huge profits, they first of all try to locate the places at which they can get the raw materials at very less available cost. After getting the raw materials at very less cost, from where we can get the designers at very less cost to design the product, who can make the designed product at very less cost for us. After the designed product is done, then who can do the assembling of the designed products at very less available cost, and finally who can provide the customer services for us. All these things are the basic criteria which are used by the MNC to spread its activities in various countries. Let us see with an example for this. For example, if you take a car company which is doing its products all over the world, but the designing of the work, the design of the car is done in United States of America, where the first step of the work will be done. After the designing of the work is done in the United States of America, second one is the designed parts are manufactured in China. This is in North America,